All right, good evening, everybody. Mr. Breeze here, coming at you from the garage workbench, the outdoor workbench. And well, guys, I got to apologize for this. This video is a few weeks overdue. A few weeks ago, I participated in an RC car race, really cool one, called the Off-Road Apocalypse 2025, hosted by the Hoosier RC Hobbyplex up in New Albany, Indiana, which is my local track. It's about 45 miles away from where I live. Anyway, terrific facility, world-class facility. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it. They hosted the Roar Nationals this past spring, and some other big events that I have talked a little bit about. Anyway, guys. Okay, so I participated in this race. I'd like to go. I could talk a little bit about the race itself and give my results. And okay, we'll start with. I ran three different classes. I ran 21.5 in the B6.4. I ran the 17.5 independent class in the my new B7, which I gotta do some other videos on that. It's a very cool car. And they had a vintage two-wheel drive class, and I decided to run the B3 in that. And all right, so let's talk about it, guys. Well, here, very interesting race. Ed Henley, who runs that track. Okay, my local track, the Hoosier track, is typically a sealed clay track. It has tons of traction and grip. It's never an issue. In fact, slicks are the preferred tire there. But anyway, Ed decided to not seal the track layout for this particular race. And the reason he gave is because he wanted local racers to experience what it's like racing at other venues that don't seal their track. So, which meant that the grip and traction were somewhat limited for this race. And when I got to the practice day on Friday, when I got my first laps in, I got, oh Lord, what have I gotten myself into? There is no grip at all. But so I adjusted my driving a little bit. Didn't really change much settings in the cars, but I did make some adjustments in the radios and some basic things like camber and stuff. I did make some changes. I just went ahead and ran the tires that I have, which are silver compound smoothie 2s on all three cars. So anyway, as the day went on Friday, I started to get a little bit better at driving. The first few laps, I was like, oh my, what am I doing here? But I figured it out, guys. I figured it out. I softened the radio settings in all the cars and made some camber changes, and it did better. And the track improved throughout the day Friday, and I started to gain some confidence. On Saturday, when the racing began, again, the track began to improve with every round. And another thing about this race, so this race was 3 qualifiers and mains, and the entire race was held in one day, which means with 3 cars, I was busier than a one-arm paper hanger, let me tell you. So this is the first time I really experienced that. And so I was pretty busy keeping my cars going. I had to get into a routine to open tires, charging, that kind of thing. And I did struggle a little bit with a vintage car, keeping it going throughout the day. But I digress. I'll get to that in a minute. So anyway, guys, very interesting race. I improved. I got better as the 2 days ran along. Like I said, at first I wasn't real happy to begin with, but things got better as the event went on. I got better at driving, got more used to the track. The track improved, especially on Saturday throughout the rounds. So anyway, guys, I'm going to give some of my results, and I'll give my final thoughts after that. Okay, guys, so we're going to start with the B6.4 21.5 class. I'm not going to go over every single round with each car, but I'm just going to get some highlights here. B6.4 21.5 class. I ran a B main. I started 7th, and I finished 6th out of 11 drivers. And so I didn't do too awful bad in that class. Certainly didn't. Now they had 2 transfer spots in the B main. Of course, I didn't get close to that. But overall, I think I didn't do too bad, and it ended up being my best class throughout the race. Like I said, B main finished 6 out of 11 drivers, started 7th on the grid, and in one of the qualifiers, I ran as high as 4th. So that was pretty darn good. Pretty happy with my performance on that. Okay, B7. B7D ran a C main. That was one of the probably the largest class of the day with the most entries. Okay, ran a C main, 2 transfer spots per main. So I started 10th of 13 drivers in the C main, and I finished 6th. Again, not too awful bad for me. I'll take it. The car did great. Really happy with this car. This car was the first time I actually drove this car was on the practice day on a Thursday. I had built this car the previous week, and I had bought my kit 8 days before this race, and I finished the car and painted it like the day before the practice day. So love the car, love how it drives. I'm going to do a follow-up video just on the car itself here at a later time. Very happy with the B7 and pretty happy with my performance. In the subsequent practice days since that race took place, I'm actually my lap times are going down and I'm getting more consistent with it. It's a great car. Anyway, guys, okay, we come down to the B3, the vintage class. Guys, I hate to say it, but I struggled with this class. Broke the car 3 different times. I kept having ball cups come off. And overall, just getting this car through the race day was a bit of a struggle, but I managed to get it through and finished out. So I guess I'm proud of that. Anyway, guys, with the vintage class with the B3, I ran a B main. I started 6th and finished 8 of 8. So I finished dead last of vintage class. Reason being mainly is, like I said, breaking the car and having ball cups come off. So I got my work to do with this car. I got my work cut out for me. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get my final thoughts. This race was an interesting learning experience for me. I got to experience some different track conditions that I was not accustomed to. I ran 3 cars on a very, very tight race day, which is a new experience unto itself. And I think I did reasonably well. There's a few things I got to get better at for the next time. One thing is being at the driver's stand and being at the tech table, and getting to the driver's stand on time. That was tough. A couple times I was running late, and yeah, barely made it through on that. That's something pit routine, being at the right place at the right time on a very, very tight race day. That's something I'm going to have to work on and improve on. That's really about it. I mean, again, lack of grip, having to adjust my driving technique, a little bit of setup changes. These things I'm learning, and was an interesting learning experience. Anyway, guys, well, that's about it for right now for this race. Oh, and I got a great T-shirt at the end, so very cool on that. My collection of racing shirts is growing. Anyway, guys. Now, a couple weekends from now, I'm going to be doing another race. Which I'll be talking about later. It's called the INS. INS stands for Indoor National Series, which is a series of races held at different tracks around the country. And the event at Hoosier is the finals for the year. So very excited about that. And it's going to be a big race. It's going to be 200-300 people there. There's going to be world drivers that participated in the Worlds that just took place. Will be there. A lot of the big sponsored guys are going to be there, so it's going to be a pretty exciting race. It's going to be about 4 days long. It's going to be a big challenge, guys, so I can't wait for that. And I'll let y'all know about that in a later video, guys. Well, I appreciate you tuning in and watching. I apologize. It took me a few weeks to get this vid out. Been extremely busy. I've been sick for a couple days, and just a lot of things just happened. So life gets in the way sometimes. Anyway, guys, appreciate you watching, and continue to follow. Thanks, guys. Mr. Breeze, we are out.